I'm not here to judge you for doing whatever you feel is right for you, your family, and your community. I'm not here to tell you what is objectively right or what is wrong. And I'm not here to listen to your arguments and to your opinions either. I am just here to tell you guys my experiences, my shift in perspective, my new life choice. The best way to start this is talking about when this whole question mark started coming into my life. I think this is a good way to start. So 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, I became a dad, a father. And I'm not going to speak for every parent out there, but for me especially, when I became a dad, and even before when we were pregnant, a lot of, responsibility came into my life. A lot of, difficult questions that I had to, answer, different kind of philosophical ideas that I had to think through. And I think we can all agree, or people who have looked into the scientific literature, we can agree that nutrition itself is a very confusing and not really understood topic. And it is, understood to a certain degree, but there are very many question marks. So you take a study and you use that study to come to a conclusion, but then another person with a whole another opinion will take that same exact study and come to the opposite conclusion to someone else. A lot of times when you're vegan, especially for me, you are in this bubble. You are in the mindset of, we are doing something that is ethical. We're doing this because it feels right in every single way. And this is my perspective, and because this is my perspective, we're only going to listen to other people with the same perspective that have the same mission to eliminate animal suffering, to live a plant-based lifestyle, a vegan diet, and so on. So it becomes almost like you have to only look for answers and research that comes from people that is going to support your bias. Anything outside of pro-vegan becomes the opposite, right? So there is no neutral point of view that you can get to with this mindset. It's either vegan, pro-vegan, or it's anti-vegan and pro-meat eating and pro-murder and death and these things. And this is the mindset that is, I was in that mindset myself, so I know that is the dominant mindset for a lot of people. And I understand it. It's really, really challenging to be objective and try to disprove certain things and challenge your own beliefs constantly. And even if I thought I did that for a long time, I really didn't go as far as I should and as far as I needed to get the full picture. And now, being a father, that is exactly what I feel the duty to do. And unfortunately, as we know, and as I've talked to you guys about in podcasts and different things, I have never claimed that the science, proves that a vegan diet, a 100% vegan diet is the best for optimal health. But I truly believed it for the, last 4 years. I think the last year I've been questioning a lot of things. But for the vast majority of the time that I was vegan, I really actually believed that it was optimal for human health because that is what we're being sold. Big organizations like the American Dietetics Association, all that mixed together makes it extremely easy to just believe 100% that you are doing the right thing. And I'm not saying that it's a wrong thing, but it makes it easy not to question it and look at the opposite or another different point of view. After looking into the Dietetics Association, corporate ties, all these, different corruptions that are going on, and looking at the science for, children especially, because this is the reason why I started questioning everything. There is extremely little science, and I am not convinced at all by the science that is used to support those claims. And I strongly believe that we cannot, say for certain that one thing, something like the vegan diet, 100% vegan diet is going to be optimal for kids. It may be optimal. I'm not saying that it's not. And we look up to so many vegan parents that are doing an amazing job raising vegan kids, and we respect them so much. We're all trying to come from a place of compassion and love and trying to make the world a better place. So I'm not saying, that this is a horrible and that I know that it's a dangerous thing. All I'm saying is that if I I'm trying to be as objective as possible. This is not something that I, as a parent, as a father, am comfortable with doing. I'm not comfortable of dismissing, hundreds of thousands of years or even millions of years of a certain, eating pattern, and instead do something that requires supplementation to make possible, like B12, because again, I used to think that you can get B12 from the soil and water, and that there is no scientific evidence for that to be true. And it doesn't make sense for me to go with a new method, which I could call an experiment. I have had some question marks because of personal experiences, because of my real life observations, and nutrient deficiencies in people that are very, very close to me. And I don't want to give any personal information, so I'm not going to talk in detail about any of that. And I just don't want to be responsible or even seem like I am saying that this is the better way for kids to grow up. And if I don't feel comfortable with my kid being vegan, I cannot continue that lifestyle myself. Granted, I'll still, do everything in my power to do what I feel is best with my moral compass for the environment, the planet, the animals, and all of that stuff. And I don't care if, someone watching feels extremely offended, because it's not about you, it's not about me. This is just, the reality of the situation regarding, real life as, a parent, and the responsibilities that come along with being a human being who is caring for, children, and who is really wanting to do what's best by their side. I was always, 100% certain that this was the healthiest diet for human beings, because I was coaching a lot of people, and I still will be coaching vegans and helping vegans to thrive. But I'm always coaching people and helping them transform their health and lives and getting better from chronic disease and all kinds of issues. And that just fed and confirmed my belief that the vegan diet is the optimal, the healthiest diet ever, right? But of course, this is not a long-term study. This is a intervention, a short-term intervention by coaching and by switching up their nutrition and fitness routines, lifestyle factors that play a role as well. So, I cannot be certain of the long-term implications of the diets. Just because it works extremely well and helps reverse disease in the short term, it doesn't really translate into what happens and what the limitations are long term. People have, friends have kind of divorced themselves from me and not wanting to have anything to do with me anymore. And this is people who I thought were really good friends, and other friends, really very close friends, who said, that that they respect my choice and everything like that, but they can't be seen with me publicly because that is bad for their image, because the vegan movement is so toxic and so judgmental. So, this is not an easy issue, and it's so sad that the vegan movement has so many people that are so judgmental and have such superiority complex. I'm not scared of getting flack for any of this. I've done this, several times in the past, and I just don't care. I'm just here sharing my opinions, and if people want to take my clips out of context and try to make me look like a fool, that's fine. It's been done so many times before, 100 times before, and that's okay. People can do whatever they want to support their own biases and to feel superior to me or to any other people who choose differently than them. That is up to everyone to do, but it's just not right. It's not a compassionate way of doing things, and it's not a way that reflects the core principles of veganism that got me attracted to the whole thing in the first place, of compassion and love and all these things. I'm still living the same life in terms of core principles, still the same mission, trying to spread positivity, compassion, love, and health to everyone who watches and follows along this channel. And I hope that you guys can stick around, because there's so many more things, and the journey has just begun. I mean, there's a lot more to come, And again, I'm not here to bash on the vegan diet, to say that it's unhealthy. I know so many people who are doing well, and I'm super proud for being able to step outside of the bubble and really dig deep and try to be as unbiased as possible, going into my experiment without any hopes or changes in mind, and hoping for something magical to happen and have placebo effect, results happening, even though it is impossible to be 100% neutral to certain things and have no bias at all. I tried my best, and I'm so proud for doing that and for taking responsibility for my family. I have no apologies to give to anyone. I think that this is a very, very good thing, and I think that you guys, are in for a very interesting journey ahead if you want to follow along, because again, everything stays the same. We're still going to try to become the best versions of ourselves together. And for you guys who don't want to follow along anymore just because I'm not vegan anymore, that's okay. Peace out.